Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Roger Norquist.
And that hollow wind blowing through the reeds is the space where Nate Balding would be. But he was taken in the woods. He strayed from the path. We told him not to. We told him to go straight to grandmother's house.
I thought he was behind me, Jordan.
And what did he do? He strayed from the path. He ate the berries offered to him by the strange, hairy little man. And he was taken out of the picture. We don't know where he is. We assume he's in the Fey realm, dancing until his toes fall off.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Regardless, the podcast goes on. Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroko Replacement Wife. Did you lose your wife to a demon, Sven Jolly, or mysterious plague? Monstroko has you covered with this durable, state-of-the-art replacement made of hair, steel, and ballistic gel. Just don't lose this one too, you nut. Replacement wife from Monstroko.
That would really hurt, though.
What?
Getting a divorce from your replacement wife.
That's the thing is, if you mess this one up too, you don't get a third one. And the replacement wife is, for all intents and purposes, exactly like the other wife. Honestly, it made me wonder if Monstroko didn't have something to do with the disappearance of the first wife. But I think they've got her whole DNA locked down. What I'm saying is the replacement wife remembers our trip to Pennsylvania Dutch country. You're just ballistic gel and hair. How's that possible? Through the magic of Monstroko. That's how it's possible, folks.
This is going to be a fun image to create this week.
A replacement wife.
I'm thinking just a bunch of stacks of gelatin squares or ballistic gelatin squares with a wig.
Yeah. One of those, you could get one of those ballistic gelatin square, ballistic gelatin bods with the skull embedded inside of it. With a wig on it.
Looks just like your last wife.
That is what she looked like. I'm going to recommend this just while they're hot. Get one. Put it in the closet just in case something happens. You know, I don't want to call it a backup, but things happen. Things happen every day. Nate Balding was kidnapped by a wood troll.
If we had a replacement Nate, that wouldn't be an issue.
Could you imagine? They're working on it. You know Monstroko's cooking up replacement Nates down there. But so far, they got to the wife. So pick one up, and we're going to go ahead and do the podcast.
We've been doing the podcast this whole time.
Do the podcast.
WerewolfRadar.com.
Yeah, listen to us, I guess, which you're already doing.
That's where you can find old, ancient episodes, which are carved with a runic language we don't understand anymore.
An ancient Proto-English, the language of the shadows.
There you can find links to our YouTube page. Please subscribe and follow that.
Sounds like this.
But you can see what he's doing. You can see Jordan speak the ancient tongue.
The arcane hand gestures that go along with it, like I'm at some sort of wizard rave.
And paranormal evidence when we have video footage or photos of it. You can see all that at our YouTube page. Also, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/werewolfradar, where you can become a Dark Council member and support us financially so we can keep being weird online.
Crazy shit happening on the Patreon. You
Extra episodes.
That's where to do it.
Listen, will that get you to subscribe?
You want to see Nate's brain?
We will do fetish for you, okay? It's not technically sexual, so we're good.
Deep fetish. We'll take the skin off. Cenobite shit.
Patreon.com/werewolfradar.
We're not going to do that.
I mean, It depends. If you're a $30 Dark Council member, I forgot what they're called. Let's say, Counselor of Madness.
The Chancellor of Madness.
Yeah,
if we get all of a sudden 1,500 new Chancellors of Madness, I will look in to joining a religion that worships pain as pleasure. I'll look into it.
All right, Cheesebot's updating his Patreon.
What's the name of the D&D lady who loves pain? The god?
Leviatar.
Leviatar, which is the most metal name. Maybe I'll do that one.
All right, so I'm going to take the Speaking Skull. It's out. I'm going to give it some of the caffeine protein shake that I'm drinking right now.
Monstroko Energy Slurry. How's that?
Now I'm going to spit it in its mouth.
Like baby bird style? Ew.
Okay.
Oh, it's chittering.
Yes, it loves it.
Oh, it's vibrating around the table like some of those comical wind-up teeth.
And while it's distracted, I'm going to talk to us about some weirdness happening out of Russia.
Oh no! Wait. What kind of weirdness?
This isn't like the man who's making what were they called? Chimeras. With egg and his semen, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right. He was jizzing on eggs.
Yes, and then having fun online. It got him his YouTube views and whatnot, you know.
I make chicken boy. This is my son, Klokokio.
We've talked about the Russian town in the Ural Mountains where the mayor felt he had to, was demanded to dress up like a Yeti and get Yeti tourism to his ski town.
Yeah, get out there.
We've also talked about
what are you doing to get the people into your town? Are you watching Scooby-Doo? Are you researching the ploys and plots? Oh God, he's one of these dudes who goes out and has like a Yeti with horns or something. And that's a Wampa. That's from Star Wars.
And of course, we've talked about the Alma and whatnot, your Russian Bigfoot. This is a little bit more down to earth in that it's a bunch of humans being weird. And for unknown reasons, I am talking about this week the radio signal UVB-76.
Oh, okay. I've heard about this.
And it is some very, not high strangeness. I think we're going mid-strangeness, but a lot of strangeness, regardless of the ranking system that we're using.
It's definitely causing the strangeometer to,
to ping, to tick. Yeah. So I'm on the Wikipedia for UVB-76, and it says that UVB-76 is also known by the nickname of the Buzzer. We're going to listen to some audio and you'll understand why. It is a short-wave radio station that broadcasts in upper sideband mode on the frequency of 4265 kilohertz, 4,625 kilohertz. It is a short monotonous. That's a fun way.
Yes.
It's a buzz tone, repeating at the rate of approximately 25 tones per minute, 24 hours a day.
Oh.
And sometimes the signal is interrupted with a voice transmission in Russian.
Oh. Does it say, I am talking on the ham radio?
I don't know. I don't speak Russian.
Okay.
Let's go with that for right now. Everyone put that in your head.
That's when there's Simpsons, I think, where Bart gets a ham radio, and the only thing I think it's Selma, and the only thing that is said over it is a Russian guy being like, it translates to, I have ham radio.
So the station is commonly known as the Buzzer in both English and Russian.
The Buzzer.
from its first voice transmission in 1997 to 2010. So that period, they started doing weird voice transmissions. The station has identified itself as UVB-76. And interesting fact, the name UVB-76 was never used by the station itself. But due to a mistranslation of the transcript, it just got known as that. So it's known worldwide as something it's not known by.
Strange.
Kind of like how Germany would like to be called Deutschland, but everyone's all like, Allemand. Let's listen to some audio. Are you ready? Are you ready for this audio, everyone?
I'm fucking ready.
All right, here we go. This is from the Wikipedia page and is one of the first, a transmission recorded in southern Finland, 860 kilometers away from the station in 2002. Like, we know where this station is. It's not like it's mysteriously being produced. Like, we know where this station is. We don't know why it's doing what you're going to hear, for what purpose, what it all means. There's a lot of like questions on just why. So here we go. The first audio we have. Did you hear that okay, Jordan?
I sure did.
There
sounds like an alarm clock going off.
There are more 24 hours a day.
Huh.
Yes. And one more to really hit that nail on the head.
So the first one
is recorded really close to the transmission area. So that's why it comes out so clear and you don't have so much static.
That one was recorded in 2002.
Yes.
The other ones are from 2022, so it's still happening. Like
still happening. Oh yeah, this is still going on.
Tone has something to do with that.
And these dates right here. We have UVB-76, 1997, and still going on, but now it's NZHTI. It goes back farther than this. This sound, according to, where is that tab? According to Priom, PRIYOM.org, which is a World Radio Numbers Research website and organization.
Okay. Damn.
Says this radio signal goes back to 1970. The station was first reported to appear in 1970s. According to prior to 1990, the channel marker was a short, high-pitched tone emitted every 2 seconds.
Huh.
And some people, of course, think that this is a Wired. Here's an image from Wired. No one knows what's going on here. Wired did a whole article on it, like went into it, as you can see from the scrolling. And there are no hard facts. People, of course, think it is KGB related still, which would make sense. Like it might be some sort of disinformation program or throwing static out there so American spy planes don't hear what's going on in that area.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Okay,
like shit like that.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, like, if this is some sort of spy signal, bad job. There's a Wikipedia page about it.
It's been going on for a while.
I guess. This feels like maybe it was a spy thing that they don't know how to turn off.
Like it's just kind of set on auto mode.
Auto spy. Yeah.
Well,
they're like, and now if we ever need to find it, we will find it. And they just never needed to find it. It is my theory that this will, this will continue to make an alarm for 2 millennia if we let it. And it's just doing it.
So I wish that was the case. This is weirder, all because it's more human. This is definitely being ran with people there. There are countless times where people hear the buzzing and then they hear people speaking far in the distance, like in the background of the buzzing, which makes people think that this is a control, like it's mechanically done. Obviously, no one's there hitting the button every 2 seconds.
Right.
But people are, like, it is a system that always has an open microphone next to it. So if you talk in the same room, it will pick you up and you can be heard. So there's people here operating this station. Also, here is what they are saying. Here's why there's an open microphone. Let's go back to the sound catalog. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
It's gonna buzz. This was recorded in 2013, January 24th. Someone turned off the buzzer, as you can. They still haven't turned on the buzzer, which this
Okay.
Wild. And I know very little Russian. I know 5 words in Russian, and I know some Russian names. But correct me if I'm wrong there, Jordan. That was some Russian names.
I don't know what that was. I don't speak any Russian. I know, what names do I know? Boris, Zangief, Natasha.
Fair enough. I heard Nikolai, I heard Roman, I heard Constantine, I heard Yama. I'm pronouncing that wrong, but listen to it again. You'll know the word or the name I'm hearing. And that is why there is an open microphone there. So every so often, and this is very far and in between, people just were lucky enough to get this recording while listening to the radio.
So it's definitely not accidental. Whatever that signal is not,
as that video clip shows, someone is at this station,
aware of it, and uses it to deliver important information to something or someone.
I don't think it is. If any Russian listener is listening to this right now, if you can translate that through the noise, I do believe that's just a list of names.
Well, if you go back to the Wikipedia page, you can actually see the article says some of what it is. It's call signs.
I disagree with the Wikipedia article I'm currently reading this from. But yeah, Jordan's right with that. It does.
It's another name for a name, but a call sign.
It does have that. That's not the voice messages that we're just listening to. That is the monolith format. And as Jordan says, call signs, which read out twice in the readout that I'm not showing, but I do believe I have a link to it here. It will appear in the YouTube video. Call signs which read out twice in the readout. A call sign consists of 4 symbols, each symbol being either a Russian letter or digit. That's how we know that it is UVB-76.
Yeah.
Or currently, what's the current one again? NZ little h TI.
Okay.
5-digit ID groups, amount of letters usually follows the amount of call signs.
What?
And then message blocks consisting of 1 code word and 8 digits.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to go put some of the monolith messages here.
What date did the voice recordings happen on?
The voice recording that I just played, and it's happened more than that. This is just what the article has chosen to show. The buzzer with the voice message was recorded on the 24th of January, 2013.
That's so wild.
I have one from this month. Wait, I have one from last month.
Go ahead, play it.
Let's play it. You hear that difference there.
It almost makes me think that, like, the tone has something to do with it.
Like it's I right away with my very much cinema-addled brain of Russian spies and sleeper agents and agents that need to be activated. That's where I go to, where like there's a message in this different sound.
Yeah.
And you want to go see one of those?
Sure.
So we went to the Priam org. We did that. Let's go to the wild fucking world of Reddit's UVB-76 page.
Here we go. Whoa! If you are a Dark Council member, you will have been witness to that incredible pantomime of us being whisked off to Reddit.
So here it is. They have a huge subreddit. That's what they're called. Correct me in the comments. There's 2 people online right now. 5.9 thousand members. So it's a small community that's aware of this and like into it. But there is a community. And look at these. There's a pirate meowing into it right now. This is from 18 hours ago.
What does that mean? A pirate meowing?
There's a different
meow.
Here it is.
Arr.
So this post straight up shows that there are Russian pirate radio wave pirates interrupting this, having fun with it, meowing on here. And you know, with Reddit also comes a number of parody posts. So at this point, it's hard to tell what is real and what is not. But you might have heard some weird sounds in there besides just the buzzing. I believe one of them, let's go to it, had this weird click sound to it. That right there. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
One more time. So the idea which I am talking about right now is that all data, all information can be converted into different mediums. Like images, for example, can be converted into sound information and then translated back into images.
Yeah.
And that's what some people are thinking with some of this information.
Wow.
And this post from a user Bitter Cucumber 5841 was using WebSDR, and I was tuned to the buzzer, wondering if I could hear anything interesting. Then I started hearing the distinct tones of a SST image being sent over the waves, so I started recording and decoding them. This is what I saw.
Lamau.
And here we have some Russian words, one in English that says 3 triangle, something that I can't make out, then ABOBA with what appears to be some sort of cat.
Yeah, an anime cat in the background.
With the like what seems to be a kitchen background behind that.
Yeah.
as one image. And then we have this image that right away says, yes, I'm a femboy. With then your anime cat kissy face with those same words over it.
What if this is...
And a lot of people are having fun with it. Sonic Residue says femboy is sticking it to Putin.
Well, that's the thing, is like, that doesn't make me think, you know, Russian government spy channel. That makes me think like US backdoor with like some kind of Russian spy for the US who's feeding us information. Us being them.
And femboys on the ticket.
Femboys on the take. Because femboys, those aren't allowed in Russia. Those are ours.
Those are ours. That's fair.
That's America.
And it could be, but it's been going on since the 70s. This signal has not stopped officially. Although within the past year, 7 months ago, there was a post on that Reddit page saying the buzzer has gone silent. It's up right now for those of you who I just scared. Sorry. But for a short time, and it's happened twice that I can find, according to Reddit, who seems to be the most up-to-date and like really into this, posting daily, you know, like constant updates of what's going on here. It's gone silent at least twice within the past year.
Okay.
People are thinking that it is pirate attacks, all sorts of stuff.
Pirate attacks?
Radio pirate attacks. They still have like a parrot on their shoulder, but everyone has earphones on.
Yeah, but the parrot is eating gamer fuel.
And this is one of the images. So, as you know, audio can, what am I trying to say? Audio
make you dance?
Can have a visual look to it, you know, because you can draw out where the waves are. And knowing that information, you can make pictures.
Okay.
For example. And this is, it's been attacked by pirates countless times within the past few years. And one time a pirate did this to it.
Whoa!
It had some real fun. I see a boar's head or a bear head, maybe, with like a
Werewolf
fox.
radar logo, the old one.
They're on to us, Jordan.
Hell yeah, they're listening.
We've been broadcasting from Russia this whole time.
Those are wolves. Maybe a bear.
So this is some bit of mid-strangeness, I'll call this segment.
Mid-strangeness.
Because it's not like paranormal. There's no ghost. It's not another parallel dimension, but it's some strangeness that humans are doing to ourselves.
Clandestine activities in plain sight.
And this is all over. There's also been, before I end and pass the skull to you, some very unusual transmissions on this channel, and no one's sure if this is the actual station or pirates. But recently, because of the occasional fluctuating pitch of the buzzing tones, it is supposed that the tones are being generated by a tone wheel, such as a Hammond organ. So we're kind of onto some theories on what's making it. But in 2010, several unusual broadcasts were observed, including portions of the buzzer being replaced with excerpts from, I'm going to pronounce this so poorly, Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake.
That was perfect.
Okay, look at me go. And all sorts of like meme things. Gangnam Style had a short time on the buzzer.
Nice.
If you remember it, I'm trying to find
How could I forget?
I'm trying to find a more recent one.
Gangnam Style rips.
But it's some weirdness, and it's taking part in Russia.
Sexy lady.
Because of how science works, we can triangulate where this is coming from, and it is coming from Parvarovo, Russia.
Parvarovo.
or at least was for a short time. It seems to have moved, and there are other Russian stations doing this in a live format, constantly being ran and updated by real people. We have the Pip and the Squeaky Wheel, which are the nicknames for it, not shows on the buzzer. UVB-76. It's only in Chicago.
Shows on the buzzer. Next on Suspicious Ramblings.
and that's I'm gonna oh, the skull it got into some more of that caffeine drink. Oh, well, geez. Jordan, this is your problem now.
Oh boy, where is it? Is it still there?
I'm sending it through the tube right now.
Okay. Nothing's coming out. Oh,
Let me
I think
put
it got
this
loose in the tube system.
All right, I'll
Oh jeez. Oh, I can hear it. It's in the walls. This is the caffeine. This is the caffeine. Ah, here it is. Okay. It's perched. It's observing me. I think it's giving me the go ahead. Okay, I'm going to talk today about Pow Wow Magic.
Ooh, were we talking some like indigenous people magic of the Western Plains?
Are not. Pow Wow Magic, despite its name, is not what you might at first think.
Okay, so I think as all the listeners we're talking like a shaman in a teepee, the steam fires going
no. I mean, that guy might be involved. He might show up, but let me hit you with this excerpt from the Wikipedia. Pow Wow, also called brocha, brochau, or brocheri, in the Pennsylvania Dutch language, is a vernacular system of North American traditional medicine and folk magic originating in the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch.
Who are these people? I thought I had an idea, and now we have this.
This is why we're talking about it, because it completely, yes, exactly. Blending aspects of folk religion with healing charms, talk about that later. Powwowing includes a wide range of healing rituals used primarily for treating ailments in humans and livestock, as well as securing physical and spiritual protection and good luck in everyday affairs.
I knew that some of these people forbade common modern frivolities. You know, they're very basic people by choice. You know, cart and buggy, maybe sometimes a black car to take your milk to the...
They live a somewhat Spartan existence.
Yes. But I never pictured, witchcraft.
I know. Here's a little explanation as to the connection to the Native American word. Although the word powwow is Native American, these ritual traditions are of European origin and were brought to colonial Pennsylvania in the transatlantic migrations of German-speaking people from Central Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. A practitioner is sometimes referred to as a powwower or a brocha, but terminology varies by region. These folk traditions continue to present day in both rural and urban settings. So, origins and practices. Although the majority of the Pennsylvania Dutch were Protestant, their folk religious culture was deeply rooted in practices of the pre-Reformation era, such as the veneration of saints, use of folk adaptations of liturgical blessings, so on and so forth. It's kind of an, one of those splinter religions that shoots off of Christianity.
Gotcha.
Was appropriated from the Algonquin language. This is all kind of just
some historical linguistics, which I'm fascinated by.
Factoids. We're gonna skim over this because it's not what we're here for today. An excerpt from the 6th and 7th books of Moses, which many powwowers find as justification for the Christian practice of powwowing, reads, "One thing must not be omitted in conclusion, and that is, we must first become Christians before we can perform cures by Christian methods. Very few are really Christians who call themselves such. They are only Christians in name and appearance. The art of healing, according to scriptural principles, deserves special mention in this place in more than one respect, not only because something truly magical takes place therein, but because scriptural healing is often regarded as the only true one, I see. These principles of this art of healing have been fully established according to certain declarations and doctrines of the Bible.
So these guys are clerics, essentially. You do enough, you get lay on hands.
It is primarily understood by practitioners of the Pow Wow tradition that Pow Wow is an Americanized version of the English cunning craft. Professional or semi-professional practitioners of magic in Europe, kind of a witchy wizard healer type person who was, folk healer as opposed to a witch. I think these are the people who were basically living on the very edge of that law that said, hey, we'll burn you.
Easy now.
Yeah. The Pow Wow practitioner is more closely allied with theology than medicine and feels he is a mediator between the patient and God. Among the Pennsylvanian Germans, the plain folk, such as Amish, Dunkers, and the Mennonites, as well as among the Lutheran and German Reformed Church members, Pow Wow and Pow Wow Doctor has a significant following. There is another book called The Long Lost Friend. Another characteristic practice of Pow Wow magic is the Himmelsbrief, or what they call the Heaven's Letter. Significantly, the long-lost friend assures its owner that whoever carries this book with him is safe from all his enemies, visible or invisible, and whoever has this book with him cannot die without the holy corpse of Jesus Christ, nor drowned in any water, nor burn up in any fire, nor can any unjust sentence be passed upon him, so help me.
I'm interested to test this theory.
So yeah, here's a little more about the book. In the 20th century, the term Pow Wow became associated with the title of an English edition of a celebrated manual of ritual procedures entitled Pow Wows, or Long Lost Friend, written by George Homan. This was published in 1820. It was first published in German as Der lange verbogen Flunde.
And of course.
Verborgin, I don't know. The Long Hidden Friend. Yeah, and this is a book that contains a lot of the spells and incantations they would use. So here are some quotations.
Ooh. Are we talking some witchcraft, some spellcraft here? Sorry.
We're talking
holy healing. Powwowing.
Here's some quotations. This is for a spell. A sure means to staunch blood. It does not tell me where. Oh, yes. This is from Pennsylvania Dutch folk belief, and also quoted in The Long Hidden Friend. So this is a quote from that. It is helpful. This is a sure means to staunch blood. It is helpful, though the person is far absent, if the one who uses this means for him pronounces his name aright. So you got to get the name correct.
No, I refuse to learn this person's name.
But it seems that you can do this cure, spell, whatever you want to call it, incantation, quotation.
Okay, so I'd be like, yo,
distance, as long as you say the name right.
Blood of Jordan, stop it up.
I am I accept no charm from this man. As well as I read these only for educational purposes, no intent behind these spells. This is what you say. Jesus Christ, precious blood, which soothes the pains and stops the blood. Help thee, insert name here, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost, amen. And you chant that. You would chant that while directing your intent.
Upon them.
Yes, exactly. Here's another one. This is the cure for a headache.
Ooh, this one's useful. Listeners, I know you all get headaches.
You got a headache? You got a headache? This is how to get rid of it. This is how a powwow guy would get rid of it. A powwower. Tame thou flesh and bone like Christ in paradise, and you who will assist thee. This I tell thee, insert name here, for your repentance' sake. This you must say 3 times, each time lasting for 3 minutes, and your headache will soon cease. But if your headache is caused by strong drink, or otherwise will not leave you soon, then you must repeat these words every minute. This, however, is not necessary in regard to headache. So if it's a hangover, that's a different sin.
Yeah, but it can give you some relief, it sounds like, but it's not a...
Don't want to help you with that one.
Yeah, no, they'll help a little bit, but you got to say it every minute, and even then.
You want to remove a bruise?
Yes,
pain?
I'm constantly bruised.
Bruise, thou shalt not heat. Bruise, thou shalt not sweat. Bruise, thou shalt not run. No more than Virgin Mary shall bring forth another son. I like that they rhyme.
And that one was a fun rhyming one. That one was easier to remember.
That one has 3 crosses after it, which make me think that you say that 3 times.
Yes, I think that is what that means.
Well, you know.
Doing the what was that? Doing the Dio grandmother thing.
Yeah. We'll get into the ritual a little bit here in a second. Here's another one. This is to pull the heat from burns. You got burns on your hand from making pancakes.
Oh, constantly.
With your hands, let's say. The powwower might come to you and say, 2 angels came down from the north, one named Fire, the other Frost. Frost said to Fire, go away, go away. In the name of Jesus, go away.
Okay.
That'll pull heat from your burns.
Does that imply that Jesus's angels are causing me pain when I touch the pan out of the oven?
Shouldn't have touched the pan.
Okay, fair enough.
The angel of heat brought you a gift by heating the pan, and you treated it carelessly. Carelessly. There's also a tradition called hex signs.
Ooh, now we're talking. That sounds like something from Path of Exile.
Are indeed talking. Hex signs are a form of Pennsylvania Dutch folk art related to fractuur, which is a highly artistic and elaborated illuminated folk art created by the Pennsylvania Dutch.
What can't they do?
Barn paintings, usually in the form of stars within circles, began to appear on the landscape in the early 19th century and became widespread decades later when commercial ready-mixed paint became readily available. By the 1950s, commercialized hex signs aimed at the tourist market became popular, and these often include stars, compass roses, stylized birds known as distelfinks, hearts, tulips, or the tree of life. 2 schools of thought exist on the meaning of the hex signs. One school attributes them to talismanic nature to the sign. One school ascribes a talismanic nature to the signs. The other sees them as purely decorative. Both schools recognize that there are sometimes superstitions associated with certain hex signs. Themes neither ascribes to strong magical power to them. The Amish do not use hex signs.
It's kind of that neutral. I always think of hex as a negative connotation, but it really is neutral. It can be all sorts of things. A hex is just a spell.
Yeah. Let's find some images here.
Oh, one moment. I mean, you keep doing you. I'll make sure you can do you when the time needs.
So, let's go ahead and I will share my screen. This is a hex sign.
Oh, that's lovely.
Due to the star's complexity, it was attributed to the work of a prolific barn star artist, Milton Hill. Everybody. So
congratulations.
That's the type of thing that you might see some work from Milton Hill over there. Can you see these?
I can see all of these. They're very lovely. It very much is that sacred geometry type thing to where it's...
These are all hex signs.
Some are very symmetrical in all angles. Others are fun movement wheels. Like, it very much is a sacred geometry art.
Yeah, this is the one from the Wikipedia page. Here's how you might find them on a barn.
Okay.
This is how they kind of use them. Controversy over origins.
Nice. Drama alert. And then I'll put some image that's all like
Nice.
Drama alert.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we gotta be hip.
There's also like the bird one. It's pretty cool.
That's a pheasant, I believe.
These ones are a little more illustrated. Hexology.
Now we're talking. All right, Jordan, buy the book. $40 is coming to you.
I'm not buying that book.
But it's by a professor.
I understand. We have more to talk about. We have much more to discuss. I wanted to talk very briefly about this is from an article from the glencairnmuseum.org. They have a exhibit about powwowing in Pennsylvania, the healing rituals of Dutch country. And they have some very interesting artifacts associated with it, such as this chair.
A powwowing chair, then?
This is a powwowing chair.
A powwow chair.
Late 19th century, Mannheim Lancaster Company, Thomas R. Brendy Museum, Historic Schaefferstown, claims this chair. Chair used specifically for powwowing, upon which patients were seated. Although appearing to be a normal chair in all respects,
that's what I was going to say.
The following symbolism is attributed to it. The red paint symbolizes the blood of Christ. The two arches in the cresting rail, the two tablets of the law given to Moses, the two large vertical stiles, the pillars of the church, the three vertical spindles, the apostles Paul, Jesus, and Peter, the rock, the front lower stretcher is Judas the betrayer, upon which the patient should rest her right foot in disdain.
Okay, how do you do that exactly?
The three, like...
Okay, I do know that.
Yeah. The three rings on the legs, the Holy Trinity, and the low construction of the chair was to humble the patient to receive the healing.
Oh, that is like some actual...
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I just counted those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some real, like, symbology furniture making. I stupidly asked as you said it, what makes this chair so special? And then the list went on.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, this is from the same article. Pennsylvania's tradition of ritual healing, known as powwow or bracheri in the language of Pennsylvania Dutch, is one of many vernacular healing systems in North America that combines elements of religion and belief with health and healing. Informally, primarily an oral tradition, powwow encompasses a wide spectrum of healing rituals for restoring health and preventing illness among humans and livestock, combining a diverse assortment of verbal benedictions, prayers, gestures, and the use of everyday objects, as well as a celestial and calendar observances. These rituals are used not only for the healing of the body, but also for the protection from physical and spiritual harm, assistance in times of need, and ensuring good outcomes in everyday affairs. The majority of these rituals are overlain with Christian symbols in their pattern and content, comprising a veritable wellspring of folk religious expression that is at once symbolic, poetic, and imbued with meaning worthy of serious attention and exploration.
Now I'm going to be worried about every piece of furniture I sit in and how it is painted and how many rings on the legs there are.
I want to talk about warts and potatoes real quick.
Okay, good talk.
In this traditional worldview, warts can be cured with a potato and an invocation to the Holy Trinity by the light of the waxing moon. It's important that the moon is waxing. Verses of scripture are employed to stop bleeding from serious injuries, as we read. Burns are treated by blowing 3 times between cycles of religious invocations to dispel the heat from the body. A smooth stone from the barnyard can heal illnesses that prevent draft horses from working. And written inscriptions are fed to cattle to prevent parasites.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Cattle are the golem of the farm world.
Hey, here's a note. Will you give it to the parasites? It says, get out. The proper placement of a broom by the front door will protect from malicious people and spirits, and a pinch of dust from the four corners of the house when stirred into coffee will prevent homesickness. Farm and garden tools greased with the fat from frying Fastnacht cakes will ensure a prosperous growing season, and the ash from the wood stove sprinkled over the livestock on Ash Wednesday will prevent lice. Wild salad greens eaten on Maundy Thursday prevent illness and ensure vitality. Eggs laid on Good Friday are concealed in the attic for protection of the house and the farm, and are especially good for removal of illness.
What happens when they go bad?
That's the illness in them getting taken out.
Oh!
Of all the powwow rituals that have been practiced in Pennsylvania up to the present day to restore the health and healing, the most common of these are the removal of warts.
So like this one works.
Apparently, I've heard some encounters. I've read some Reddit threads of people saying they've had warts healed by cunning folk or powwow healers.
What does the potato do?
Ranging from a trifle annoyance to painful excretions, a wart is one of the most stubborn conditions encountered by the majority of people at least once over the course of a lifetime.
Oh no, you mean I'm gonna get one?
Modern conventional medicine can also struggle to prematurely prevent the return of warts, even after the repeated treatments, some of which are painful and invasive. The non-invasive rituals used to treat the warts among the Pennsylvanian Dutch are some of the least complicated of all powwowing procedures in structure. These rituals combine poetic blessings, the use of common everyday objects such as a penny or potato, and are scheduled according to the phase of the moon, so it has to be waxing, as we know. Despite their simplicity, these rituals are perhaps some of the most integrated into aspects of everyday life, with far-reaching implications that overlap domestic blah 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 blah. As a child, my first exposure to these beliefs was through my grandmother, who explained to me that her grandfather had powwowed away a tenacious wart on her hand when she was a young girl, using nothing more than a potato. His procedure was simple, and she recalled that under the witness of the full moon, he cut the potato in half and rubbed each half on the wart. Then he put the halves back together and buried them beneath the downspout under the eaves of the farmhouse. All the while, he quietly spoke words in Pennsylvania Dutch, a language that my grandmother had never been taught. Within a short while, the wart was completely gone.
Wild. That's crazy. That's some old country magic or medicine right there.
Yep. There's more and more I could read on in the article for you guys, but I mostly brought you here just to show you some of these cool artifacts that this museum has. So
are we talking museum trip?
This is an early 19th century manuscript or doctor's manual separated into chapters for materia medica, illnesses and symptoms, terminology, blah, blah, blah. Includes incantations to remove warts using the moon, stopping blood, soothing burns, and other common cures. Includes the rare use of the Latin for the Trinitarian invocations in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. So yeah, there you have it. There's one of the powwow holy books. These are the canes. A powwow.
You get a cane?
Also called a throw stick, used as a wand for healing or divination. A cane wrapped with 4 carved serpents, used by a powwower from Hamburg, Berks County. That's pretty cool. That's the middle one.
That's wild. Even they like snakes.
Pretty sweet, right?
It's brought up on the YouTube anyway.
Darn it.
Oh, buy your ticket, Jordan. It's screaming at you.
Darn it.
Wild.
Is that something about rabies up here?
You definitely can stop rabies with a cane like that.
It's very interesting stuff. I could kind of poke around all day. The practice of plugging illness into trees is well documented among many cultures.
What are you, sick with the flu? Let's give it to the tree.
Yeah, listen, these manuscript script instructions provide a process for ritually transferring an illness into a tree. Take a goose quill and cut it off where it begins to hollow, then scrape off a little scratch from each nail of the hands and feet, put it into the quill and stop it up. After, bore a hole towards the rise of the sun into a tree that bears no fruit pit. Put the quill with the scraping of the nails into the hole, and with 3 strokes, the hammer, close up the hole with a bung made of pine wood. It must be done on the first Friday in the new moon in the morning.
There it is. That's the illness.
That's it in there. There's another interesting book. Looks like a barn hex in there. This is a fold-out print from the 6th and 7th books of Moses.
Those are the good books.
Ooh.
That's when he was all like, "And man shall rock."
An illustrated frontis of the Gypsy King of Egypt, a legendary author in Pennsylvania's powwowing literature, bearing a Frisian cap, stylus, and book.
This is all wild. I am really...
It's wild, right?
Having a new respect and appreciation for a culture so different than mine.
Yeah. Well, and also, it talks about this idea of cultural borrowing, however, is wound in and through the bracheri experience in both a syncretic and attributive sense, as even in Europe, rituals of Germanic cultural origin were once idealized as expressions popularly believed to have been preceded from Egyptian, Gypsy, or Romani or Jewish sources. While some of these influences are confirmed, I think that they're just saying that's where this idea of the Gypsy King of Egypt as an author came from. Anyway, I'll put a link in the Discord. You should be able to read all of this and check it out on your own.
Oh damn, this is my weekend read for sure.
Yeah, lots of cool religious texts revolving around powwowing and saint talismans, seal. Look at these are the contents of an 18th century European letter of blessing, which was sealed and worn on one's person. This looks kind of like some beaded Algonquin folk craft going on here. Very interesting stuff.
There's that Inari fellow.
18th century. Very cool. So there you go, folks. That is a crash course to powwowing, just a little taste of the folk magic of the Pennsylvania Dutch. Check it out. It's a fun little rabbit hole. I'm sure we can find some more interesting stuff. You can watch us on YouTube and then go check out some other stuff on YouTube.
You could have us at the same time, in fact. Put one window of YouTube on the left, put the other on the right.
Folks, thank you for joining us for another episode of Werewolf Radar. We're not going to do any plugs because we bid them at the top.
Yep. So now we just talk as the Dark Council members flash on top of us for a thank you for supporting us.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are the best. Nate, wherever you are, we hope you're safe and not dancing too much in the Fey realm.
You'll lose your toes. You gotta dance with moderation.
Moderation. No matter what they say. Don't eat the cakes, Nate. Don't eat the cakes. Until next time, please join us in our sign-off line. Thank you all very much for listening today. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Punch the sky, Spaceman Joe.